Hey everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's Fun Scroll Saw project video, I have an amazing design picked out for Easter. Now, Easter is fast approaching, and it is one of, if not the most important events in the religious calendar. You guys know that I am a faithful person. By no means am I perfect. I make mistakes daily, but I try to do my best to be the best person that I can and stay faithful. And the design picked out here is really the full, true meaning of the Easter holiday, and it is the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And it's a beautiful little design here that says He is risen. It's got the sunlight coming up showing His glory and all. It's got the 3 crosses up here, and the tomb, of course, the rock was moved away, and because He died we can have our salvation. But really, really cool. I've already got the pattern photocopied, of course, and attached to our material with clear packing tape, and we're going to stack cut and make 2 out of 1/4 inch material. The pattern comes from this amazing book by Fox Chapel Publishing, 300 Christian and Inspirational Patterns for Scroll Saw Woodworking. It's the 2nd revised and expanded edition, and its author is Tom Zieg. I hope I am pronouncing that right. And the pattern is located on page 72. There's a lot of patterns in here for religions and all, and it's really, really cool. And I saw this pattern thumbing through it, and I had to do it. And I like how they've got like the ideal direction of the wood grain here on the pattern. Some people might find that kind of, you know, disorienting seeing all the lines there, but I think it's a cool added feature in this book here. All the patterns are like that, but really, really cool. And of course they have the scripture. This comes from the He is risen quote, comes from Matthew chapter 28 verse 6, but really, really cool and a very cool book. And I thank Fox Chapel Publishing for sending it to me. But since everything is prepared, let's head over to the drill press, drill all of our pilot holes so we can come back to the scroll saw and start scrolling. And over here on the drill press, we're taking a small drill bit and drilling out all of the pilot holes for internal cutting. And there is some small tedious cuts on this project, but we will take our time and get through them all over here on the scroll saw. I am beginning the process by doing some of the smallest internal cuts, and then I will proceed to the larger internal cuts. I am using a number 5 ultra reverse tooth scroll saw blade for all of the cutting on this project, and right now it's cutting out both layers of the 1/4 inch material exceptionally well with minimal chip out. As I said, there is some tedious cuts on this project, like all of the sharp turns around the 3 wooden crosses, and the quote here that I'm doing now, He is risen. So as always, I am taking my time and letting the blade do the work. You do not want to force the material into the scroll saw blade, and I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people make when they pick up scroll sawing, is understanding the feed rate of a scroll saw. Sitting here cutting this out, I got to think about Easter Sundays of the past. Growing up, of course, it was about the Easter bunny and getting an Easter basket full of goodies and sitting and watching the old stop motion animation movie The Easter Bunny is Coming to Town with the train and all in it. And then you usually got a new set of clothes to look nice for Easter service at church. And as I got older and my understanding about life and meaning of life and everything started to take hold, the sermons at church mean so much more to me, and I always look forward to that amazing Easter Sunday church service where you can go and worship and celebrate the true meaning of Easter, which is the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. If you guys like what you're seeing, I would highly encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also follow me over on Instagram at Artisan Pirate. Links to all my social medias as well as ways to contact me are listed in the description box below. I will also leave a link to where the book that this pattern came from down in the description box below if you would like to purchase it yourself from Fox Chapel Publishing. Doing the final internal cut here, and then we will retension the blade and do the next to the last cut. We still have to cut the backer board out, but right now we are releasing the scroll work from the waste wood. and then we will prep the backer board. Over here on the workbench, removing the 2 pieces, and I will take one of those and get a piece of scrap 1/2 inch material and use the washer technique here to get a perfect 1/8 inch border for a backer board. And before heading back to the scroll saw, we will trim this down some over on the bandsaw and then quickly cut this out with the same number 5 blade that we used for the other scroll work. And then all of the scroll work is done, and now sanding with 100 grit sandpaper with the palm sander, front and back of everything. And then it will be time to take the backer board and paint it, and I chose a nice burgundy color to simulate the blood, and I gave this a few coats and set it in the door to dry. Then it was time to assemble with some medium grade CA glue, and I will use clamps and a strip of wood here to add pressure to the center details. And even though I'm using accelerator, I will let it dry around 5 minutes to make sure everything bonds properly. And I come back and remove the clamps and gave the project several coats of Rust-Oleum clear gloss for finish and protection. And once that dried, the project was complete.
And here we have the completed He Is Risen piece, cut out just in time for Easter 2023 and cut out completely on the scroll saw. Thank you, Tom Z. Once again, I hope I'm pronouncing that name, for an amazing pattern from your book, 300 Christian and Inspirational Patterns for Scroll Saw Woodworking by Fox Chapel Publishing. Really, really cool. I highly recommend this book. It's got a lot of amazing patterns in it, and I'll probably be doing more of them as we get to more seasonal stuff, but really, really cool. I had a lot of fun making this. It took around 25 minutes to scroll everything out. It's not a very complicated pattern, and the way you finish it is up to your imagination. I would have liked to have cut the main piece here out of some cedar. I just didn't have none on hand to the size of the pattern when I photocopied it, and then maybe done a darker background to really make everything pop. But I think the burgundy background and the natural color of the 1/4 inch material here is really beautiful, and everything came out nice and crisp. As always, I took my time and let the blade do the work. The most tedious part on this is cutting out the 3 crosses and then cutting out the quote here, He is risen. Of course, that is a Bible scripture. But again, like always, I just take my time and let the blade do the work. The ever important Easter Sunday is fast approaching, and I'm sure I will be attending church that day and, you know, just worshiping and giving thanks and everything, and just taking in what the holiday is truly about. I know for kids, a lot of it is about waking up and getting up basket from the Easter Bunny. I know I'll probably take a trip down memory lane and rewatch the classic stop animation movie, The Easter Bunny is Coming to Town, if you guys remember that movie. But again, this is the true and full meaning of Easter. Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection, and this came out great, and the clear coat at the end really made everything glossy and made everything pop there at the end. But really, really cool. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you guys like watching me make it. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, and also follow me over on Instagram at Artisan Pirate. Links to all my social medias as well as ways to contact me will always be linked down in the description box below these videos, and I will also leave a link to where this book here can be purchased if you want to try it out for yourself. That's about all for this one, and remember guys, if I can make it or do it, so can you. Happy Easter 2023. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.